Hi, my name is Zamian, and today I'm going to be asking my mother about some questions of modern society. So, the first question is, even though segregation is officially abolished in the United States, do you still feel some type of discrimination?
Yes, I do feel a lot of discrimination. It's actually very apparent in our news and the media. On a day-to-day basis, you see a lot of stuff going on that still denotes a lot of segregist thinking in America. Officially, with our new selected president, the racism and the separation of just everything about the unifying nature of America has been divided lately. So, yes, I do believe segregation is still real, apparent, and it exists.
Okay, the second question is, do you feel as though we made progress in the last 100 years?
I feel as though we've made progress as a people, but economically we have not gotten our head up there where the rest of the nations are. Unfortunately, yes, we may lead in the music and in the fashion and all these other industries, but unfortunately, we're not doing anything to impact our communities because we're not actively getting involved into politics. We're not actively getting involved into economics, group economics, community economics. So, as far as the progress, I feel like we still have a long ways to go. But once we reach those two epitomes of politics and economics, I think that we will definitely make the progress that we've been behind on in the last 100 years.
Do you think any laws, like from back then, that are now changed, do you think they affect discrimination and segregation in any way?
Well, there are a few laws in the civil rights era that were enacted that were supposedly apparently to abolish slavery, but what seems like happened is that they made it so that it's a lot harder for people after the Civil Rights Act to attain jobs, to they were being criminalized for very small, insignificant criminal afflictions that today are being brushed off the shoulders of many other people of other ethnicities. Um, the segregated nature of the schools integration was a good thing, but because the public schools aren't actively teaching children how to think, they're teaching them what to think. I think we're doing our children, the next generation, a great injustice. So, as far as if there's anything that any old laws that are directly affecting us now, there are a few of them that need to be changed and updated to actually coincide with the progression that we're trying to make as a nation of people.
Okay, the next question is, as your life as an adult, have you experienced any type of racism? If you have an example, could you please give us one?
Yes, I have experienced many examples of racism. The fact that I am a young single black mother of two teenage black boys, I've received a lot of racism from the way that people look at my sons. Although I see them as my young men, other people see them as a quite possible threat in American society. I'm pretty sure you're aware in the news, in the media, there's always something going on. And I just live in a very fearful state, very anxious all the time, hoping that my sons will get home. Any infraction, any small minor infraction by possibly having a phone that looks like it may be a gun or holding a brush to your head could get you shot or could get you. So I live in a state right now of perpetual fear. Racism does exist because whether unfortunately enough, I don't experience it directly enough in my job situation where it prevents me able to sustain for my family. But the fact that I am a black woman in America, a single black woman, I'm not married, I'm missing a lot of these key statistics that would make it a lot easier for me to progress. It's definitely still racism is apparent. The way people look at you sometimes when you come in the storeways, the way people, it's still there. Racism is here and it exists.
Okay. And the last question is, in the state of the world it is in right now, do you think that racism will get any better, or do you think it will stay like this?
Well, the way that the state of the world is now, as far as politics goes, we're electing officials who aren't actually addressing minority issues to the point where they're actually making change in the community. So I feel like racism will still persist, and then not only persist, but it will probably get more escalated due to the fact that we're enacting policies that are clearly creating a great divide between the middle class and the lower class. As though there weren't a great enough differentiation and divide, we are now just pitting these. where it was before just economics, we are pitting racial people, colors against each other, ethnicities, and that's what's making it worse. And unless someone steps in and provides an infrastructure in America that's going to actually benefit all ethnicities, not just, the top 1% or the supposed remaining middle class, it's going to always be chaotic situation. So that's how I feel about that. Racism still definitely exists in American society. Western society is run rampant with it, and hopefully, unfortunately, we'll unify enough here in the next couple of years to do something about it.
All right. Thank you for the interview.
You're very welcome, Zamia.